Good afternoon, guys. So today I'm going to go ahead and talk about bisectors, just in general. So we have segment bisectors, we have angle bisectors, we even have perpendicular bisectors, okay? But just know that in general, to bisect means to cut in half, basically. Let's say that we had this segment right here. Now I have a ruler at my hand, except for this thing right here. And let's just go ahead and measure in. Just a quick approximation here. So this one right here measures about 75. Okay, so it's about 75. Okay, so wondering what units these are. They are millimeters, obviously. Okay. So now a segment bisector, if it cuts it right down in half, cuts it right down the middle, all you have to do is pretty much just find the midpoint, all right? So sometime right now I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm not gonna be all perfect about it, but here's my midpoint. So in order for me to be bisecting this piece right here, I need to have another line, segment, ray, that cuts it. Now I could cut it perpendicularly, making a perpendicular bisector, making it nice and pretty. Or, and you know, these two pieces are the same. Or I could cut it differently, but these two pieces are still the same, okay? And that's one thing I want you to know. When we're talking about segment bisectors, you could cut it in so many different ways. As long as you're going right down the middle, it will be considered a segment bisector. Now, how does this actually apply to problems? Well, let's just say that again, that this piece right here, let's just say it measured 80. And I had a segment bisector going right through it, right through the middle. All that means is that this piece is now 40 and that piece is 40. Again, it created two equal halves. That's what a bisector does. Our segment could be any way whatsoever. It doesn't have to be straight horizontally. Okay, again, it's going to have something right down the middle where it goes through, creating two equal halves. This piece and this piece are exactly the same. Something else that you will notice when we have segment bisectors is that the point where the two pieces intersect, well, that will be a midpoint. All right, so that's for segments. Now angles. Very similarly, when you have angles, you're just going to cut it in half. If we had a straight angle, remember that a straight angle is just basically a straight line and it measures 180. If I had an angle bisector, this is where it starts becoming, at least for this one, a little bit more specific. If I had an angle bisector and I'm bisecting a straight line, I have to cut it right down in the middle. I can't just cut it like that and say that this angle and this angle are the same, because they're not. Again, just get the total angle, whatever it is. In this case, it's a 180. Divided by 2, it's 90. So I'm just going to cut it, at 90 degrees. Boom. If I had any angle, let's say that this angle right here was 100 degrees. And I drew an angle bisector to it, meaning that I cut the angle right down the middle. I've created two equal angles now. Half of 100, right? So 100 divided by 2. That's 50. That means that this angle is 50 and this angle is 50. And together, notice that they add up to the big one. Pretty straightforward, guys. Again, angle bisectors, you cut whatever angle you had originally in half. Segment bisectors, you cut whatever distance you originally had in half. It's that simple, guys.